Your tale tells. Where darkness has a voice.
In Millfield, there exists a body of water that defies classification. Locals call it the Deep, with voices that drop to whispers, as if speaking its name too loudly might summon unwanted attention. Its obsidian surface never ripples, even in howling winds. No birds fly overhead, no fish swim beneath. It simply exists, a perfect black mirror reflecting the world above while concealing whatever waits below. James Harmon didn't believe in haunted places when he purchased the dilapidated cabin by the woods. Grief had hollowed him out after Rebecca's cancer claimed her, leaving him a husk of the psychology professor he once was. The cabin, with its isolation and absurdly low price, seemed the perfect place to either rebuild his life or quietly end it. The realtor's trembling hands as she passed him the keys registered only dimly in his grief-fogged mind. The place hasn't been lived in for some time, she'd said, eyes darting toward the forest path that led to the Deep. Previous owner just disappeared, left everything behind. That first night, as autumn wind rattled the cabin's loose windows, James discovered a leather journal wedged behind a dresser. The handwriting started as clear academic notation, observations about local folklore surrounding the Deep, but gradually deteriorated into manic scribbles. The final entry was a single line, written with such force the pen had torn through several pages. It's not water. It's not water. It's not water. Sleep came fitfully to James that night. In his dreams, he sank through cold darkness, while something with too many limbs circled beneath him. He felt it studying him, assessing his suitability for some unknown purpose. He woke gasping, sheets damp with sweat that smelled faintly of algae and decay. In the bathroom mirror, James noticed something wrong with his reflection. Just for a moment, a subtle elongation of his features, eyes slightly too large, skin too pale. He blinked and his normal face returned, though the hollows beneath his eyes seemed deeper than before. The pull began that morning, an inexplicable urge to visit the Deep, like a fishhook lodged behind his sternum, tugging him toward the forest. He resisted, instead driving into Millfield for supplies. At the general store, conversations halted when he entered. The elderly cashier's hands trembled as she counted his change, refusing to touch his palm when she returned his money. "You're staying in the Witham place," she said. Not a question. "Just temporarily," James replied. Her rheumy eyes studied him with unexpected intensity. "Been there 3 nights. 2. Something like relief crossed her face. "You still have time then. Leave before the 3rd night. Whatever calls to you. Don't answer." James laughed it off, but as he left, he noticed how the townspeople watched him, not with suspicion, but with pity, as if he were already dead. That afternoon, the pulling sensation intensified. James found himself standing at the forest's edge without consciously deciding to go there. The path to the Deep was unnaturally clear now, though no footprints marked the ground but his own. Strange stone formations lined the way, not random piles, but deliberate arrangements that seemed to form symbols when viewed from certain angles. The humming started as he neared the Deep. A sound felt more than heard, vibrating through bone and tooth and the fluid of his inner ear. It carried patterns within it, almost like language. James realized with dawning horror that he was beginning to understand. The Deep appeared suddenly before him, its perfect stillness an affront to nature. As he stared, the surface began to move, not with waves, but with bulges, as if something massive pressed up from below, testing the boundary between worlds. That night, James barricaded himself in the cabin. He pushed furniture against doors and windows, though some part of him understood the futility. Whatever wanted him wasn't hindered by physical barriers. He found more journals hidden throughout the cabin, decades of previous occupants, all documenting similar experiences before their handwriting grew distorted and finally ceased. At midnight, water began seeping under his door. Not from outside, where the night was dry and clear, but from some impossible source within the cabin itself. It pooled and spread, black as ink, but with the consistency of syrup. Where it touched, wood rotted and metal corroded. James retreated to his bedroom as the liquid continued rising. The humming grew louder, resolving into words that bypassed his ears and formed directly in his mind.
We have waited. We have prepared. You are suitable.
The mirror on his dresser showed his transformation accelerating, skin developing a slick, translucent quality, fingers elongating, joints developing new articulations. When he opened his mouth to scream, he glimpsed rows of teeth where there should be only one. His memories began dissolving, replaced by alien images, vast structures beneath the deep, pale, writhing forms in various stages of transformation. A consciousness, ancient and vast, splintered into fragments that inhabited human vessels to navigate the world above. In a moment of desperate clarity, James understood. The deep wasn't a place but an entity, its water-like surface merely the membrane between realities. For centuries, it had been harvesting humans, remaking them from within, then sending them back into the world, perfect mimics save for subtle wrongness that most overlooked. The town knew. They always knew. That's why they stayed, to contain it, to monitor who went in and who came out. Changed. The black liquid reached his chest now, unnaturally cold. Within it, small tendrils reached for him, caressing his transforming skin with something like affection. James felt his autonomy slipping away, replaced by a terrible collective consciousness that had existed before humans walked upright. With his last remnant of self, James staggered to the dresser where he'd found the first journal. With fingers that now bent in impossible ways, he scrawled a warning for whoever would come after him. The water is them, and they are the water. As the liquid consumed him entirely, James experienced one final terrible revelation. He recognized some of the entities circling him beneath the deep. The missing townspeople, the previous cabin owners. Rebecca. Her transformed face watched him with black, depthless eyes as the last of his humanity dissolved, and he became one with the drowning deep. 2 weeks later, someone new moved into the cabin by the woods. The realtor, hands trembling, practically gave it away. In town, a man who called himself James Harmon smiled too widely at the locals, his teeth slightly too numerous, his movements too fluid. No one commented on how he avoided the rain, or how puddles seemed to reach toward him as he passed. The deep had claimed another, and the cycle continued. In Millfield, there exists a body of water that defies classification. It is patient, it is hungry, and it is spreading.
Horror Tale Tales. Make sure to subscribe for more.